How's it going everyone? Mick here, welcome back to the channel. So I've had the MacBook Air M1, the base model, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage for coming up to a week now. Obviously, as you know, it's Thunderbolt 3 enabled, so having a Thunderbolt 3 dock or hub is somewhat desirable if you've got one of these laptops. However, Thunderbolt 3 enabled devices are incredibly expensive. A lot of the docking stations that support Thunderbolt 3 are upwards of £250, £300, sometimes even more. I recently found a really good deal on a Thunderbolt 3 docking station from Belkin, the Thunderbolt 3 Dock Plus. This was reduced from £249.99 to £149.99, so it was £100 off, and it was by far the cheapest Thunderbolt 3 dock that I saw online. So we're going to unbox it today, we're going to see how it does, we're going to see if it works. Obviously it should work, it's a Thunderbolt 3 dock, and it does specifically state that it supports macOS and Windows. So we're going to do an unboxing for it, we're going to get it all set up, and we're going to see the features that it has, what you can plug into it, etc. and see if it's worth the money. So here it is here. This is actually the shipping packaging that comes with it. Just be wary. Obviously it's quite a high valued item and they don't cover up the logos or anything. So people know exactly what this is during shipping. So just be careful of that. With Amazon, you can ask them to send it in non-obvious packaging to disclose what it is. But what we'll do is we'll start opening it up. And the first thing we're greeted with is the manual, which it literally just gives you the ports that you have available, followed by the dock itself, which we'll come back to in just a second. I've got to say, to be fair, it is packaged pretty well. It's all tight and compact. There's a good weight to the box. Here is the Thunderbolt 3 cable. Here is your power. It is the Mickey Mouse style plug. It's not a 2-prong like it usually is. You get a European one in there as well, obviously. And then you get a massive power brick. I think this supports up to 60 watts of charging, which is obviously perfect for the MacBook Air. That will give it all the power it needs. And there's your warranty information. So as you can see here, it is a hefty power brick. There's your Mickey Mouse style connector. Obviously goes into a barrel style plug on this side. This is 135 watts. Let's have a look at the cable. At first glance, this cable seems quite short. Yeah, it's not very long at all. Depending on where you're going to put this dock, you may want to have a longer cable. Obviously, what's good about this is that the cable isn't attached to the dock itself, like a lot of the smaller Thunderbolt 3 hubs. So you can get your own cable if you want. You can get longer cables on Amazon, direct from Apple, whatever you want to do. Upon first feeling it, it's actually not that heavy. I was expecting it to be maybe a little bit heavier, but I mean, it feels okay. The outside is plastic. It's not like some of those other hubs where it's like a nice space grey or silver aluminium finish. This has a glossy edge finish here. That's plastic again. And again, it's a hub. If you can save on cost, why do you need it to be made of pure metal? It's a docking station. It's designed really to stay in one place. I/O, you've got a AC charging port. It's just a power port. This doesn't charge. 2 display ports, 2 USB-C 10 gigabit ports. 2 USB 3, I think these are 5 gigabit ports, and an RJ45 gigabit LAN. On the front you have Thunderbolt 3, which will support the full 40 gigabit bandwidth. You have an audio jack and another USB 3.0, but this one is a 10 gigabit port, not a 5 gigabit port. Got a couple of these screw holes on the back, so you might be able to put this onto a VESA adapter if you want. And so yeah, what we'll do is we'll get this all set up, we'll get it all plugged in and turned on, and then we'll attach the M1 MacBook Air and and hopefully it works, and then we'll go over some of the things on it. Right, so we're back. I've just done a test fit of the Belkin Thunderbolt 3 Dock Plus docking station. I'm going to show you how I've got it set up with another camera angle as I go. Just before I do that, just quick disclaimer, this isn't it fully fitted into my desk. It's obviously going to be cable managed properly afterwards, but the last thing you want to do is fit everything perfectly and not test it, because if something's wrong, you've then got to undo everything that you've just done, any cable ties that you've done for cable management, all that sort of stuff. So it's easier to do a test fit first, make sure it all works, and then fit it properly. But I've got it all set up, I've got it all connected. Unfortunately, I can't test any Thunderbolt 3 speed-based things like a Thunderbolt 3 SSD or anything like that, because I don't actually own one yet. But I've plugged in several things into it so far. So if I take you on the tour of the device, obviously I've got my MacBook Air here. It's plugged into the Thunderbolt 3 cable going around into the front of the docking station there. That right hand 10 gigabit USB port goes to the 2 terabyte Transcend drive there. That is a physical spinning drive, so it's not going to be one of those drives that gets up to 500 megabytes per second read and writes. That's going to be around the 100 mark, I would have thought, because it's a spinning drive. And then obviously at the back of the device, you've got the power plugged in there. You've got the DisplayPort cable there. You've got USB-C going to my phone, which you can see up here, it's all connected. And I've got a USB 3 SD card reader back there as well, reading a SanDisk Ultra micro SD card, 128 gig card. Now, in regards to the display and the resolution and refresh rate, I've got the MSI Mag CQR. I'm at the full 2560 by 1440 and I'm running 100 Hertz. Now, there is the option to go higher. Don't do it, because it just black screens and then it's a pain in the ass to get it back to 100 Hertz so it starts displaying again. So 100 Hertz is the max. The 144 Hertz and the 165 Hertz doesn't work, but it supports up to 100 Hertz at the full 2560 by 1440, all through the one cable. If I close up the display preferences and put it back to the Safari, you can see there as well that it is indeed running at 100 Hertz, 100 FPS. So that's really good to see that you're not necessarily going to be stuck at 60 Hertz for every single display. You can get 100 Hertz there. In regards to the read and writes, so the no-name one is the micro SD card. Let's just do a read, a speed test on that. You got your write sitting at about 55-ish megabytes per second, and then the reads will probably be about double that, I imagine. Yeah, almost double, around 90 megabytes. The 2 terabyte drive, open that, start the test again. As you can see now, our writes have doubled, and our reads will probably be around the same as well. Yep, slightly higher. But obviously remember, this is a physical spinning drive. It's not a USB 3 SSD based SATA SSD. It's a physical spinning drive. Now obviously I can't test the up to 40 gigabit speed connection for a Thunderbolt 3 SSD, but as you can see, I've got multiple drives plugged in, including my phone, including the 2 terabyte drive, including the micro SD card, and I've got a display port for the 1440p monitor, which is running at 100 Hertz. So you're getting high refresh rate and high resolution, well, semi-high resolution. It's not 4K, it's in between 1080 and 4K, but it's still a great resolution to have on your desktop. All running through one cable. Like I said, this was £100 off on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. I don't know how long it's going to be on offer for. I checked the price of this exact same device at Curry's PC World, which is a big UK retailer, and they were still selling it for 250. So I'll pop a link in the description for you guys to check it out. So far, it seems to work exactly as expected, and no hiccups whatsoever for the M1 MacBook Air either. The only complaint really I have so far with it is that the cable is just a bit too short for me, so I'm going to have to get a longer Thunderbolt 3 cable. This looks like an absolute bargain, guys. When shopping for Thunderbolt 3 products, obviously be very careful, because you can easily spend £200-300 easily on Thunderbolt 3 enabled docking stations, etc. This seems to work absolutely fantastic. Again, I'll leave a link in the description to it. I've been Mick from All About Tech. I hope you've found this video helpful. I'm very surprised, because I've seen next to no videos on this specific dock, yet it seems to be of fantastic value. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below, and until next time, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.